Spot Bitcoin ETFs just debuted in Hong Kong. What was the damage on the first day? We're going to break that down. Also, it appears every major nation is adopting Bitcoin in some form. Is the US quietly making a major Bitcoin power play? And I know we're seeing some red right now, but if you zoom out, we are looking at the opportunity of a lifetime, especially at these prices right now, because 300K Bitcoin could come a lot faster than you think.
Party, party, that party. Come and have a good time with G.O.D.
3、2、1，
A very big listing ceremony here today, and you can see the hitting of the gongs. We got 3 of the issuers on stage to mark this momentous occasion, as Hong Kong becomes the first in Asia to offer retail investors a chance to trade cryptocurrency ETFs at spot prices.
Okay, so we had that opening ceremony, absolutely epic. It looked like a lot of excitement behind the launch of these ETFs, and not to mention the news, how it was being sold to us. Check this out. Hong Kong Bitcoin ETF launch could surpass US records, says Zhu Haokong, as he anticipated that the initial trading day would surpass the record high volumes experienced in the United States. Now let's see how much money piled in. Take a look at this. Bigger first day than the USA spot ETFs. On the bright side, at least these are in-kind rather than cash redemption, which I believe eventually BlackRock and the others will adopt. But here's the numbers, and they saw 11 million in volume on the first trading day. Talk about a flop, like drafting Ryan Leaf in the first round. Sorry, Ryan Leaf. I mean, 11 million? Larry Fink and Michael Saylor buy that much Bitcoin during their lunch break, like daily. Is China going all in on Bitcoin? I think the answer is clearly, obviously not. That does not take away the impact of having this product in Hong Kong, in China, and the fact that China is top 3 in the world in Bitcoin mining. There's a lot of game theory at play here. And yes, I'm seeing a lot of bit fuckery going on right now, but they can only suppress the corn for so long. As Australia is now going to be joining the party with spot Bitcoin ETFs coming before the end of 2024. They better hurry up because the Bitcoin banana slingshot is coming soon. Now let's get to our next part here. Is America making a big power play? Now, it may not seem like it with all these attacks going on, but remember, there's what's going on, then there's what's going on behind the curtain. And we got to consider the game theory of the US, the government, the corporations, and individuals all included. The US government as a player, well, they approve the ETFs. BlackRock is basically the US proxy, just as the Hong Kong ETFs will be there. And they want as much Bitcoin circulating under their banner as possible. You don't think BlackRock is the US's Bitcoin bags? Well, think about this. Cash creates force a honeypot where you're only owed dollars, so BlackRock constantly accumulates. And why is that important? Well, say the US does need Bitcoin, they can print the dollars, and it can buy the Bitcoin for dollars from the ETFs. Don't even need a 6102 order. All of this is just to get people to put more Bitcoin on exchanges and make it easier for the government to see and keep everyone under their umbrella. Just don't fall to the pressure. As long as you're in self-custody, people are going to have to pay a hefty price to get your Bitcoin. And not to mention, if we think back to the China ban, well, all the miners relocated to the US. This is a strategic move. Now we got 40% of Bitcoin mining happening in the United States, a lot of that in Texas, of course. Take a look at BlackRock and others mentioning the need for more data centers. Elon Musk. All of the ESG FUD around mining is basically gone. We've even had the World Economic Forum promoting methane emissions being reduced by Bitcoin mining. And with everything going on, we can see that the government is actively trying to fit Bitcoin into the existing systems. And they've got to play their cards tight to their chest, because once someone makes the big play, the dominoes start falling. You know, the prisoner dilemma. We know the US and others are considering reset strategies, and you bet your ass Bitcoin is a major consideration.
Let me put it this way. I'm standing in front of a burning house, and I'm offering you fire insurance on it.
This money gets distributed into the economy, but it doesn't get distributed into the hands of people. It gets paid to banks, it gets paid to investors. The poorer people don't have these options. So it means that while people are getting rich, others are getting poorer because the savings that they have in the bank are losing value because of this money printing. There is this entire new financial market that is being built at the same time, that is led by Bitcoin. Bitcoin is said to have been created by the people for the people because it's controlled by a community, not by a central authority. Bitcoin will be the black hole that will swallow a big part of all of this money that will be escaping the traditional markets.
Time to squash Bitcoin? That's come and gone. Even if the US went full China, Bitcoin would continue to add blocks. Guys, Saylor bought more corn. His strategy will and is going to be copied by the rest of a lot of the major companies in the S&P 500. Hash rate has gone absolutely parabolic. Now we get a lot going on. We're just, 10, 11 days after the Bitcoin halving. Just how far is everything going to send Bitcoin this cycle? We did the math. We ran the numbers. We also have a clip of Nick Bhatia breaking this down for you. 300K Bitcoin isn't far away. But before we get to that, let's take a minute to recognize our sponsors, the Bitcoin Way, because Bitcoin self-custody has never been more important. Take a look at this. Tether, the issuer of the biggest stablecoin, said it invested $200 million in BlackRock Neurotech, a maker of brain-computer interface technology. You gotta protect your seed phrases because it looks like Skynet is trying to hack your brain for your seed phrases. Hey, you want to keep your corn safe? You better check out the Bitcoin Way. Bringing over 25 years of experience in cybersecurity, the Bitcoin Way is your IT team in the Bitcoin world. They'll help take you from that why Bitcoin to the how Bitcoin. From setting up your first wallet node all the way up to inheritance planning, accepting Bitcoin payments for your business. They cover all aspects of Bitcoin security and privacy. They even work with their clients to configure routers, devices, and networks. Also, not to mention UTXO management, in short for everything in Bitcoin sovereignty and privacy related. They are your go-to source. Looking to get started? You can book a free 30-minute consultation using that link below. Okay, so now let's get into this. How high will Bitcoin go this cycle? So I kind of did my numbers and I'm going to stick to these. This is what I had a few months ago. So if we go from the absolute bottom of last cycle, remember the 2020 crash that put us around 3K and Bitcoin went on to skyrocket to $69,000. Now, if we take a look at that, that was a 23x. Now, the absolute bottom before this halving was 15K. So if history rhymes and we get around a 23x in Bitcoin this cycle, that's going to place Bitcoin around 345K, which isn't that wild when you consider the amount of new players we have in this market. So 345K could be about 18 months away. Don't just take my word for it. Let's see what Nick Bhatia, the author of Layered Money, has to say.
We have this $1 trillion cash pool. It's now 6 trillion in size. This is the safe money of the banks, investment houses, pensions, etc. That cash pool can be analogous to Bitcoin in that this is money that we're not ready to buy stocks with or that we want to just keep. I see a rotation out of the 150 trillion of stocks and bonds into Bitcoin alongside money market funds so that they'll have this cash pool in money market fund shares of 6 trillion and this Bitcoin cash pool of 6 trillion. And, that gets Bitcoin to 300K.
Ladies and gentlemen, when Bitcoin goes to 300K, you don't want to be like this.
What are you going to tell your kids and your grandkids 25 years from now when they say, gee, daddy, gee, grandpa, what were you doing other than having your thumb up your big fucking ass during the greatest transformation of wealth in the history of the world? What were you fucking doing? Fuck all, nothing. That's what most of you will tell them. It's never gonna get any better than this, kids. This is the eye of the perfect motherfucking storm. This is it.
Want to be a legend. To become a legend, you have to have diamond hands. It is the base who will inherit the earth, not the blue-haired, paper-handed pansies. Make sure you seize this opportunity. I like what Matt C says here. His chart is very similar to mine, but both the Bitcoin halving and Hong Kong ETFs were no match for the sell in May and go away seasonality. Just buy Bitcoin at 60K and go on vacation. Valhalla is coming, my friends. How high will Bitcoin go this cycle? Let us know what you think below, and I hope you guys like this one. Be sure to set those notifications and help support Simply Bitcoin. Share the Sound Money Gospel. Catch all the latest breaking Bitcoin news. Follow us on Twitter, and don't miss the #1 Bitcoin-only live news show on YouTube, Simply Bitcoin Live, Monday through Friday at 12:15 Eastern Standard Time. Guys, despite the bit fuckery, everything is looking mighty bullish. Seize the moment. Stack those sats. I'll catch you all Thursday. Peace.
If you prefer to go down with the ship, fuck you.